Hello everyone and welcome back to Don's TV. We're here on a very, very chilly Cherry Red Records Stadium. I'm joined to my left by Rob Boyce and my right by Nick Draper. And yeah, we're going to look at Notts County versus AFC Wimbledon. It's quite a big clash, I think, in the league.
Yeah, big team coming down to Plough Lane today, third in the league. One of the favourites for promotion. Be interested to see how we get on against one of the biggest budgets in the division. And yeah, I'm excited. It should be a good game.
Absolutely, Rob. You know, they came up last year through the playoffs.
Yep.
You know, there was some controversy around that. Everyone thinking some people thought they should go up automatically, and they nearly threw it away in the playoffs. But what have you made of them so far this season?
Really impressive. When you think that Stockport, Notts County, Wrexham have all come out in recent times. I mean, obviously they all got big budgets, but you got to spend it wisely. You got to bring in the right players and whatnot. And last week they got a really good victory against Bradford. Obviously 4-0 up at half time, finished 4-2. So tough test today.
Absolutely,
there's no doubt about that.
I think we'll take a look at the team we're sending out to battle. Get that up on screen now. Here we go, testing Spike behind the camera. There we go. Obviously, look, Alex Bass in goal. Back four of Isaac Ogundere, Joe Lewis, Ryan Johnson, Jack Curry. Midfield, I'm going to say midfield two of Jake Reeves and Armani Little, with Conor Lemonhay Evans and James Tilley out wide, with Davison and Al Hamady through the middle. Look, pretty strong that. Relatively unchanged, apart from obviously Davison and Ogundere coming in for the suspended Husbyler and Omar Bujil. Rob, what are your sort of main thoughts on that from the get-go?
Well, it's kind of obvious that Byler and Bigel were going to obviously miss today because of the suspension. It was interesting who was going to come in. Kind of predicted Ogundere, but I was kind of wondering if he would go Davison or maybe even James Ball, because Notts County like to play a 3-4-2-1, so I wondered if we'd go an extra man in midfield. Also interested as well that he's gone for Ryan Johnson over Alex Pearce as well, because I think Alex Pearce actually played, really, really well recently. Last game we kept a clean sheet, even though we went down to 9 men, so maybe he might feel a little bit hard done by to lose his place in the starting 11, but, maybe that's a tactical reason.
Absolutely, and, you mentioned there, obviously, Josh Davison into the side. Nick, what do you make of his sort of adding in, going up front with Josh Davison and Ali Hamady? I think the first time we've seen them two together.
Yes, it's going to be really interesting because we know that Omar tends to play a little bit deeper behind Ali, so that's not really, I don't think that's really Josh's game. So we're going to be interested to see how they work as a front two, how Josh goes about it today. Is he going to, we know Josh is all action, he'll run his heart out all game long. It's just going to be interesting in this system, the way we set up since the start of this season. Does it work with him and Ali? I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see how we go about it. Obviously, they must have been working on it all week in training as well, which would have helped. And I think Josh got minutes again last week. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how it works. I wasn't sure. It sounds ridiculous because he is our forward on the bench. He is to come in. But I wasn't sure if Johnny was thinking perhaps he goes for maybe someone like a Nerval or someone like that and try and keep that sort of three behind Ali.
Yep. Well, I was thinking James Ball myself.
Yeah.
Just because he's got the height, we kind of knew Powell would miss out, and obviously Bigel, obviously miss out. I thought James Ball might come in, he can play attacking midfield and play that role. So I agree with you, Nick. It's interesting how Davison will line up and fit into the system. We haven't seen much of a front two. Another interesting thing as well is recently, Stu said in the group chat that he's been playing a lot of Football Manager, and he's got our lineup as if he's played Football Manager here. So we're going to bring the lineup on our screen, but this is a bit Football Manager-esque for me with the way he's line this up, shall we say.
I'm expected to see like inverted forwards, Ram Deuter in the middle, all sorts.
A few arrows on the screen as well, what direction he wants them to run in.
Links. But yeah, there you go, there's the team lineup as predicted by the man behind the graphics, Stuart Deakins. I think Davison and Ali are very fast, so I think that could be a real attack. I spoke to some Notts County fans on Thursday night as part of a podcast, and they were saying that whilst they're very good at keeping the ball possession based in the middle, they can be sloppy, and that was sort of an admittance from them. So I'm thinking, with the pace of Ali and Josh, if they nick it, they can get through and maybe get a one-on-one and get us ahead there. So I think that could be a potential in for us. And balls over the top, we've seen just how fast Josh Davison is. I think that's sort of understated sometimes. He is very, very fast. So that's definitely one to watch out for. But yeah, sort of building on that, looking at that back line, so strong. And Nick, what have you made from the sort of the fluidity of our centre backs now, where we can bring players in and out? Obviously, like Rob mentioned earlier, Rob Boyce, Alex Pearce.
Rob Boyce is playing centre half.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No
wonder we did so well.
Alex Pearce obviously dropped out this week for Ryan Johnson to come back from injury. What have you made of those centre backs?
Well, do you know what? I think a lot of it is the fact of the way we set up, how we approach games, and we do tend to like to play direct. We like to play on a counter attack, and we don't overcommit. I think it's quite low. I'd say low risk is probably not an unfair way to describe how we go about games. So I think in that sort of system, the centre halves can be more interchangeable. I don't think they're as important. it'll be interesting today because Notts County, we're expecting to come and take the game to us, really attacking. They'll take risks, they'll try and open us up and stuff like that. You'd think that we'd be better suited against a team that tries to come out against us and play like the way, but our record against these teams, we've not won against the top half team so far this season. So it seems a little bit counterintuitive to me that we've not done, because it seems like we're actually set up better against those sort of teams that take games to us. But.
Well, no, for the first time though, like this season, I've seen us sort of controlling possession in the opposition half, sort of playing it around, sort of looking for openings, which I don't think we've done for a few years, or at least not consistently. And it'd be interesting now to see Notts County come to us with a lot of possession and how we'll sort of go against that. It's interesting we're stuck with the same formation. Obviously, I think Notts County played against Bradford, who play a similar style to us, sort of in the middle of the park, and they were falling up at half time. So I'll be interested to see how we go about and sort of how we change. But no, definitely an interesting game ahead of us today.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a tough test today. With Notts County lining up with a 3-4-2-1 formation, like I said, I'd fully expect. But they will have a lot of position today, and like I said, we might look to play on the counter attack. It looks like we take low risk at the back. Try to get the right territories and get the ball down and play, like you said, Tom. So.
Yeah, just on that point, you're talking about the fact they were 4-0 up at half time. I think we saw a couple of weeks ago we lost 4 at Morecambe, we lost 4 at Accrington, and I think we then came up against Cheltenham in the FA Cup, and we actually started. I know we ended up winning 5-1, but the first half we were very sort of cautious and we didn't commit numbers forward. It was almost like, let's not get in that sort of situation again like we had against Accrington. And you just wonder if that 4 goals that Notts County, the start they had last week, how much of an impact that has on us psychologically about how we start the game today.
Absolutely. I think a big loss for us today will be Omar in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
I think he gets himself about so much. He makes himself known. A couple of elbows in there, and he makes a presence. And I think that's something really important for us when we go forward. Yeah. He wins the ball, holds it off, and he can play a decent pass. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how we how stylistically we change. We've got a lot of love for Ali in the comments. The comments are flowing in. If you've got any score predictions, any comments, like I said, get them in and we'll get them on screen where possible. However, I do think we've got... Oh, there we go. So thank you, Spike, for bringing that up for us. What we'll do, we'll jump into some highlights from when we took on Doncaster and a nice 2-0 victory.
AFC Wimbledon, and thought they would love to remedy. This man, Tilley, always capable of that. James Tilley over halfway. Good combination play to get Tilley going into the near post area. Al-Hamadi getting in. Set piece opportunity. Taken short for Tilley on the drive. Blocked away. Will be an in-swinger for the hosts, in towards the near post. Couple of Doncaster men down on the floor. Is that in? It is. Ali Al-Hamadi from close range, couldn't miss. His 6th of the campaign. Delivering for AFC Wimbledon. The original fizzing cross was diverted away. It left 1 or 2 Doncaster defenders on the deck, though, affording space for the forward to score from no more than 2 yards out. AFC Wimbledon lead. Cynical play from the fullback. It's been a constant outball. Al-Hamadi this afternoon. Here he is again. Ali Al-Hamadi! Brilliant! To double the Dons' lead. Lift off at Plough Lane. What an excellent afternoon that centre-forward's had. Al-Hamadi, a consistent threat throughout the afternoon, chasing lost causes, and when chances have come his way, hasn't he taken them well? A 1-2 punch from Al-Hamadi has floored Doncaster Rovers on the road. Not like them. 10 of the last 13, Donny have scored at least twice. Take one at this moment in time. Now Beeler's dived in. He's already on a yellow card, and Hus Beeler's gone. Naive, rash play from the fullback. And the hosts are now down to 10 men. Keeps in towards the danger area by Doncaster. Ironside getting up. Steering his header just wide. A frustrating afternoon. Bass concerned for a second. Forward foot, Bagil in a tussle. Just kicked out there at the Doncaster man. Now, did Ollie Yates, the referee, see that? I think he did. It's a second yellow. Omar Bagil's gone. And AFC Wimbledon will finish the afternoon down to 9 men. If the first red card was stupid play, what have we just seen there from Omar Bagil? Moronic. Working hard now, clips into the melting pot, headed down, big chance, spooned over the bar. Huge chance there for Ironside. Time ticking by. Ollie Yates blows the full-time whistle where AFC Wimbledon end the game with 9 men, but pick up 3 priceless points in League Two.
Team performance, how pleased are you with that?
Yeah, so pleased, so proud of the group. I've got to say, I think it was a magnificent performance. With and without the ball, we had to do a lot of the dirty work today, especially when we went down to 10, obviously 9 at the end. I thought the shape of the team was outstanding, and even though we had to give up control of the ball and allow them to have possession, I still thought that we limited them to very few chances, and that's credit to the lads and the work that we've done this week. Building up to it, we emphasise our shape a lot, and these are the days that it pays off, so because we had to be really disciplined with what we've done, and I couldn't be more proud of the group.
Is it quite hard to be ready for when you go down to 10 men? Did you have a plan in mind?
Well, you do. You sort of have a plan, if you go down to 10 against different systems and how you're going to go and press, and you always want to still try and have an outlet. When you go down to 9, it's difficult to still have an outlet and defend the way that you want to do. So you almost have to just, you have to give up any pressure on the ball. That you can't get pressure on the ball, and you have to just defend your box, which we've done, and we're happy to do because we've got players that can do that. But I thought at 10, a fair period of time there with 10 where their advantage could have told. And I didn't think it didn't. Yeah, they had the ball, but I don't think they hurt us, and we still always had a threat as well, and looked like, in transition that we might go and hurt them. So I think we can be really pleased with how we went about it. When we went a man down.
Joe, what are your immediate thoughts after that?
Immediate thoughts are how hard everyone worked, really. Prior to obviously losing men, we were already sort of acknowledged at half time that everyone was really on it today, working really hard. It wasn't a particularly free-flowing game, even though we did have moments and the lads played well. It was one of those slightly scrappy games where it was more about the work rate, and everyone turned up and gave it that tonight.
I think that's one thing that's sort of been consistent this season under Johnny Jackson, is that just hard work. Sort of you see Armani Little and Jake Reeves in the middle of the pitch, just constant. How important is that to sort of the way we play?
Yeah, hugely important. I think especially when you play with two in midfield, you need those two to cover a lot of distance. I mean, most teams don't play with two in midfield. So they have to cover a lot and make up some ground in there, and they were outstanding tonight. And the same goes for everyone else, really. But the work rate is really important to the way we play. I think I can only think of one occasion when we've not quite turned up with that this season, and that was the first half against Accrington. But I genuinely can't think of another occasion where we've got that wrong this season.
Race today and another home league win for us.
Yeah, we've shown great character this week, I think, to get definitely the 3 wins. Through in both competitions, and I think we've showed just immense character to come back from those 2 really poor results. But I think within the group we were really confident that we are a good team, and it was just a matter of time before we got firing again. So yeah, just unbelievable character from all the boys, and to come away with 3 home wins in a week, I think everyone can be proud of that.
There we go. That was highlights from our 2-0 victory over Doncaster, Johnny Jackson's post-match interview, and also some bits with Ali as well. Do you know what, one thing that really, from that game, that was really nice to see is all the young fans getting autographs and how happy they looked. It was just like showed what football's really about, I think, and just one notice point that I thought from that video, it was really nice. But yeah, back to footballing matters. What did you make from that?
That's a great point. I was just going to say, no, it's a great point because obviously I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Wimbledon fan because I got free tickets when I was a kid, and that was football in the community back in the days, and this is how you grow your fan base. And however many years on, I'm 29 now, so about 20 years on, and I'm still here despite the fact we were Premier League at the time, and now we've gone all the way down and back up and stuff like that. But it's for life at that point. So we are, what's the word I'm looking for? We are battling, we are fighting with the Chelseas and the Fulhams and the QPRs of this world for fans. Yeah. All these things make a big difference, so yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Similar story for me, Nick. Like, I went to Selhurst Park because I got taken as a kid when it was like kids for a quid, you know. So that's how I kind of got into Wimbledon, and that's probably a similar story. Obviously, I'm not quite 29 like yourself.
Yes,
so.
Do you remember which?
Makes you look 29, Nick.
Thanks. Yeah, it's actually old age. I was falling out. Do you remember who that game was against? Do you remember who your first game was against?
I went to a few games at Selhurst Park. I remember going to watch Newcastle because I really wanted to actually go watch Alan Shearer, and it was a 0-0.
Okay.
And then following week, my dad didn't support Wimbledon, but he liked watching the opposition teams. So I got to take him to Tottenham because he wanted to watch Klinsmann.
Okay.
And Klinsmann scored 4 goals in that game.
I remember that well.
What the full-time score was.
6-2.
Something like that. Yeah. I was going to say I thought it was 6-2 or 6-4.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get.
I remember that well.
Yeah. Well, I had the pleasure of watching us in non-league as my first.
Was that your first game?
I still stuck here. Yeah, I've got vivid memories of standing on the Chem float at the end, but it was the Tempest end at the start.
And the athletics end before that.
I don't think I looked back since.
Do you remember your first?
No,
game?
but I was mascot for the game that Terry Brown got sacked, which was not obviously a joyous occasion.
I can imagine, yeah. Was that Torquay?
Torquay, yeah, Torquay. And also, as I walked off, I kissed the sponsor rather than the badge, so I take blame for that loss. Anyways, footballing anecdotes aside, we took on Wycombe on Saturday, and here are some highlights from that.
Conjure up something towards the Wimbledon goal. Shot comes in. Parried by Zan Evers. It's going straight to a Wimbledon out. In by Boyce, goes right into the centre. Davis unable to clear. How do they play this? They send it right to the back post. Callum Baye's header. Does that hit the arm of Wheeler? The referee thinks so, and it's a penalty to AFC Wimbledon. David Wheeler's arm was sticking out as he tried to defend the header from Callum Baye. Referee in a good place and was quick to give it. Responsibility on the shoulders of Josh Davison for AFC Wimbledon, and he's denied by Ravizoli, who guesses right.